Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and Happy New Year to everybody watching. Today we're going to be talking about the Jumputi Heroes New Year 2023 celebration, which, to be fair, if you watch my videos in the sort of lead up to this event, it was all sort of doom and gloom, really. There was a few exciting things, but mostly I was a bit, I don't know, not upset, but just I was fed up with the way events had been handled recently. And it looked like it was just going to be another one of those events that was mishandled. And to an extent, there is some truth to that. But I think they have done enough things in this event for me to say it was better than I expected. To start off, if you missed anything from the year-end campaign, I already made a video on that. But if you can't be bothered to go and watch the video, news post will be linked in the description. You can quickly scroll through at your own pace. But starting off with the New Year stuff, and again, this news post, the New Year 2023 one, that will also be linked, started off with a gift of 2023 rubies. And I said just like hours before the event, I was like, yeah, but if we get the rubies, maybe there's hope. And we did. 2023 rubies to celebrate going into 2023. A very nice gift. I really wish, generally speaking, the way the ruby rewards were handled were better, but this is a good start. I say it's a good start. I mean, they did this last year, but it's just recently things have been a little bit rough, you know. This is nice. This is a very nice gift, especially if you're not planning on summoning on the New Year banners. This is a nice little addition to your stockpile to get you ready for the events that are coming up at the start of the year. Next thing was the limited choice ticket present. Now it looks like they're setting this up to be a yearly thing, which I am totally down for. It includes all of the limiteds up until the 4th anniversary, not including seasonal limiteds, of course, but loads of good stuff in there. Absolutely loads of good stuff. I would highly recommend selecting a unit that came out early 2022. Just because they're more recent. It doesn't necessarily mean they're better in every respect, but they are generally speaking pretty good, and it is generally speaking less likely they will appear on tickets that may come out in the near future compared to units that came out in, say, 2019, 2020, whatever. But it's a very nice reward, and you're gonna have loads of characters to choose from. So just choose whoever you want and just have some fun with it. Then we have the New Year Lucky Chance Daily Gacha. It's a free multi every day, and if you do get a 5-star, not an awful chance actually to get a limited. The rates aren't as bad as I expected. It's still not like likely, I would say, that you're gonna get a limited, but it's better than I thought. So pretty good. And then we have the login bonuses. We've actually got 3 separate login bonuses here. The first one is log in any free J's during this, well, until the 4th. Log in any 3 days, and you'll get a total of 60 tickets from the October edition, the November edition, and the December edition, if you're unfamiliar with these tickets. They have a slightly updated pool, so they have a better set of characters in it than the silver tickets, gold tickets, rainbow tickets. So maybe you'll get something good. I personally never have, but maybe you will. And then we have the Roboco Takeover login bonus. You get Roboco for logging in the first time you log in January, I believe, up until the 1st of February. And they have said that it is possible to get Roboco to max luck. I believe the way that we're intended to do that is you get this 1 copy here that's 10 luck. And there will be 9 copies that are 10 luck each that are available from one of the events, which we'll talk about in a second. But the news on this, it's a little bit disjointed. It's not exactly very clear. But the idea of this event is that Roboco has come in and made some demands for how a Roboco campaign should look. And the idea is that a lot of the stuff that we're being given here are thanks to Roboco, including the limited choice ticket as all the characters and stuff. So I thought that's quite clever. That's quite cute. Like it's in the same vein as the actual manga. And in the past, a lot of the things they've done related to gag manga, it's like I get it, and I guess that's funny, but it doesn't benefit me in any way. Like with Gintama, when they released the Legend Summon, and it's like you can't level it up, and all it does is debuff you for like 99 turns. And it's like, well, obviously, I mean, it's a funny gag, but that doesn't help me. Whereas this, it's like, it's a funny gag, and it's like, actually, you're getting some pretty awesome rewards out of it. And I'm 100% down. I am 100% down. I'm sad that Bondo hasn't been added to the game, but, you know, we'll take what we can get, really. And maybe later. You never know, maybe later. And then this login bonus, we actually got a proper login bonus. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't, but today they're doing one. And this login bonus has some rubies in it, which we appreciate. Not many, but still we'll take what we can get at the moment. We've got some tickets in there. 2 new tickets. These ones you might be familiar with. We get every year. We get a new one, 2022, 2023. And I'm sure we'll get another one in 2024. And then this one, which is... I'll be honest, at first glance I thought this was stupid, and then I've looked in the rates and I've realised, yes, it is indeed very stupid. They have the New Year characters on here, which, by the way, are freely available in this event. They're all farmable either from their standard stage, like in the case of Kaiba, or there are multiple like point stages that you can collect and trade for characters, and they might appear in the exchange there, but all of the New Year seasonal characters are available during this event. So them being in here is really just to stop you from getting the good stuff, which is a bit of a shame. But the standard gacha units available on here, only 2021 and 2022. So if you do get one of them, there's a good chance that you'll get something pretty decent. And I mean, it's free. At the end of the day, it is free. The standard gacha units rates are not very good. And especially, it's a little bit annoying for me because the way the ticket is laid out, it's listed the gacha units as like featured units, pickup units, and it is listed the event units as not featured units. But the event units rates are so much higher. But all in all, I don't think your rate of getting a decent 5-star is too bad. So hopefully you can get lucky with these tickets as the event goes on. Then we have these tickets, and as I mentioned, these come out every year. It's a chance. It's a chance at getting something good. You are not getting a guaranteed limited from this one. You're not getting a guaranteed 5-star or anything from this one. But it is a ticket, and you can summon, and you have a chance at getting something good. They're going to give us some of these from a Twitter campaign. You can also get them from the events that are going on. So just summon and hope for the best. That's what you can do. Then we've got the daily stage, which gives you the shrine tickets and other goodies from the exchange, as mentioned. Now, I believe we're a bit restricted in how many of these we can get. And so my recommendation would be, because I think you can only get one a day, and I think there's a total of 10. So I think you can get a total of 10 coins, or offerings, I should say. And I think what you can exchange them for is a bit restricted as well. So maybe wait until the end and then decide what you're going to exchange them for then, rather than just going off the cuff. Unless you straight away see the thing that you want and then you go for it, in which case, fair enough. But some of the rewards are probably more worthy than others. Then we have Lil's Otoshidama, which we got something similar last year, but this has been changed. So you clear the stage once, you get this item, and that will let you get a guaranteed limited, a multi-summon with a guaranteed limited in it. The pool is not too bad. I mean, it's pretty much everyone you see on the banner there. I don't think there's anyone else featured. And unfortunately for me, I do have all of them. But in the current, not meta, the current state of the game, we are moving to a place where a lot of the limiters probably will get a level 15 update at some point. And you probably aren't going to want to use jewels on them. So if you don't have one of these, then hey, you might get one of these. And if you have them all, well, at some point you're probably going to need a dupe, because you're probably not going to want to use jewels on them. So, I mean, it works. It's fine. It's a nice reward. I'm not going to complain about it whatsoever. And then we have the Roboco points event. Now, as I mentioned before, I believe this is going to allow us to get Roboco to max luck. They have said in a few places you can get her to max luck. She is a hero grade unit, not an event unit. So from the start of like 2023, once the pool update happens, she will be considered a standard gacha unit, a hero grade unit. But for this year, just at least for this campaign, you're going to be able to get her to max luck, which means she will be by far the strongest 99 luck unit you can get your hands on, unless you're some kind of omega whale and you've been trying to get limited grade units to 99 luck or something like that. She is going to be your strongest and probably only viable pick as a 99 luck green unit moving forward. So pretty cool. They did something similar last year with Inamaru, but they only gave us one copy. They didn't let... You're going to be able to get her to max skill and max luck for free, which is incredible. And again, this is part of the Roboco takeover, giving us amazing rewards. She also has a special evolver that you will need. So I don't know how they're going to handle that moving forwards, because standard gacha units typically don't have special evolvers, except for 3-star and 4-star ones. So I don't know what that's going to look like further down the line. Like, say, for example, this campaign, which, by the way, goes on for a long time. This event goes on until the anniversary, until March 28th. Say, for example, if you manage to somehow get your hands on her towards the end of this year in some banner she's featured in, or like next year, maybe when the pool updates, they're going to have to make that evolver available somewhere, and so far they haven't done that. Weirdly, they let you buy as many of the evolver as you want, which I guess kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like quite high up on the store list, so I could see a lot of people not knowing what it is or how it's used and buying too many of them. You only need one. You only need one to evolve her to 6-star rarity, and that should be probably your first priority in the shop, to evolve her to 6-star. And you're going to want to include her in your team when farming this stage, because she has 300% boost. Basically everything to do with this event and with Roboco's introduction is a gag, but like I said, it's all sort of like positive leaning gags rather than negative, and I am very much all for it. So you can get her to max luck. I believe the way we're doing it is there are 30 of these tickets in the store, and every 10 multis you do on these tickets, you get one copy of her, I believe, at 10 luck. So every 10, you only get 30. That's only 3 copies. That's not enough, right? Because that's 30 luck plus the one you already had that was at 10 luck. That's 40 luck. That's not enough. But I believe they have said that the shop will replenish on the 1st of February and the 1st of March. They didn't say the Roboco tickets would be added. They mentioned other items instead. But I believe that that must be the way that we get her to max luck, unless I'm misunderstanding something. Because that will add up, actually, because you get 30 more luck here and 30 more luck here. That's going to add up to 100 total. You only need 99. And you would have got her to max skill in that time as well. So she's going to be pretty damn strong, pretty damn useful. And it's a very cool event. This event is obviously going on for a long time. Make sure to do this, but maybe prioritize the New Year stuff, because that's going to go away faster. But definitely make sure you do this when you get the chance. Yeah, it's really weird. These particular items I'm still not really sure about. I mean, I guess because I've been playing for a long time, I have so many books and stuff that these items don't really hold any relevance to me, but these might be useful if you're new to the game and you need to power up your characters. You're gonna get a decent amount of them because the hero jewels in this gacha have a very low rate and it's the only other item. So you'll get a few hero jewels maybe on your way through the multis, and then you're gonna get a lot of knees, which is, they've gone very knee heavy. I guess that is one of the main gags in Roboco, but yeah. But all in all, the Roboco stuff, it's very cool. It's on character, it's on brand, and I love it. And she's taken over a bunch of advertising on a bunch of different websites to try and get people to download and play Jumputi Heroes. So, it's interesting. I'm really interested to see what they do with the series moving forward as well. I'm wondering if it will just be a sort of one-off thing where they just add her and that's that. But I'm hoping that if it's popular enough, they'll consider to add other characters in the future. Then we have a... It's not really a catastrophe class stage, but a sort of like challenging stage where you can get yourself a Rasengan emblem. And sadly, they have nerfed these types of stages. Before, it gave 3 jewel shards and 10 limit break doors, and it also gave an ultimate scroll. They removed the ultimate scroll, they removed some of the limit break doors. But as I've said before, I don't really put that much importance on limit break, and as nice as the scroll would be, I think will live. The Rasengan emblem, very cool. Then we have the Legend Summon. Now, I wouldn't say I'm like a Boruto simp or anything like that. I wouldn't say I'm like one of the mega fans or one of the stans or anything like that. But I think this is a pretty cool moment. I know a lot of people would probably not be. If you're a big Naruto fan, you're probably not a big fan of Boruto in general. You're probably not a big fan of this moment. But I thought this was a pretty cool moment. And I think it's a very nice choice for a Legend Summon. I'm happy it's here. You know, you can get it to level 10 for free. Of course, all Legend Summons are free. So I'm not going to complain about it. I think it's nice. It's a shame we couldn't get another Boruto character for the limited Boruto and Naruto to counter, but it is what it is. I still think it's pretty nice. Then we have the introduction of Pino Tomaru. Now, seemingly, Mr. Full Swing, 2 years in a row featured in the New Year Festival. So could that be another one of those things that become a sort of regular thing? They sometimes like to do that. They have like a yearly sort of, oh, around this time we'll do this. And Mr. Full Swing doesn't really get much content in this game, so I'm hoping that maybe that's something I'll consider in the future. Just like, oh yeah, around this time we'll do like a Mr. Full Swing something. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Sprite looks pretty good. It's a Transcendence, so if you're a fan, you can get your hands on that. Now, technically, there are only 2 event characters in this event, because Roboco would be the 3rd one, but she's actually a hero grade unit. So there is a campaign that we'll talk about in a second that requires you to max out event units, but these are the only 2. A Pino Tomaru and a new Bobobo. Now, I am fascinated by the idea that they switched around this whole event and they moved the Bobobo event and they've changed everything. There's got to be something to that, and I'm really intrigued as to, like, was Light Yagami and Ryuk originally going to be added during this event? Maybe they were going to put something else. Maybe that New Year gacha looks completely different. The Bobobo stuff, was it integrated into New Year? Was it actually just a feature festival? Like there's so many options, and I'm really interested as to what that original event looked like compared to what it looks like now. I don't know if we'll ever know, but in future data downloads, maybe we might get some hints we can see. But a free-to-play Bobobo, I'm all about it. We needed a new Bobobo sprite. Admittedly, as I've mentioned before, the whole thing of adding characters when they're just about to get an event, it's a bit strange. But I think the To Love Ru execution was probably worse than the Bobobo. Having one character, and it's the main character, we didn't have a free version of him yet. We didn't have... It's a different type as well. It's a blue one, and it's a seasonal. Like, it's different enough, and I think it's fine. I'm okay with it. Sprite looks pretty good. His little page here, that's pretty much the only page he ever appears in this costume, and they've adapted it into a sprite. So kudos to them for the innovation, I guess. It's a bit odd, but again, gag series, they like to do some funky stuff. I'm fine with it. I'm not a big, like, I've tried reading Bobobo and it's just too chaotic for me. I feel like there's levels of chaos, and like even something like Roboco, like you might think, oh, that's a bit on the chaotic side, but when you read Bobobo, it's chaos. It is absolutely unreal. It was very obviously some of the stuff is like a difficulty in translation between English and Japanese. There could be problems there. I can see that. I understand, but bro, it's a tough read. But if you're into that sort of thing, obviously it hooks its claws into you, and it's got a decent amount of chapters, so I expect more content moving forward. The fact that we're getting a second feature festival for it, when gag manga typically don't really get any content, it shows you that there's still lots more to go through. And you get yourself an emblem for clearing that. Very nice. I really don't like the emblems, but I feel like I don't need to. I don't need to say every time that I think the emblems are stupid, but I do think they're stupid. Then we have the L stage. Now, this is a little bit weird, and this is where the scheduling doesn't really make sense. So a lot of the events you're going to see. So Bobobo ends on the 19th, but why the 19th? Because this event ends on the 10th. But maybe the 19th is when the Bobobo stuff starts. But then why would you have Bobobo end before Bobobo starts? And what's the deal with the dead space in between this event and the next event? And then you throw this spanner into the works of the L stage, which runs to the 19th. Even though light goes for the whole month, but the New Year stuff would have already ended by then. Why are things not lining up? That it's very, very peculiar to me. But there is an L stage. It's actually a little bit different than what we would normally have. I mean, this banner sort of looks like an Ultimate Class event, but then there's another banner they used in the news that looks like a completely different event. But the bottom line is, you collect the L points and you can trade them for rewards, including some past event units from Death Note, characters that do not come back that often. So if you don't have them, make sure to go and get them. And some jewel fragments and stuff, very, very cool. And you can get the Kira emblem, or Kira's mark. I'm not really sure why they didn't have the L emblem. I feel like on the Taiwan version it was an emblem, but over here we've got this one instead. But, I mean, whatever. And then we have Unity Battle Kaguya returning. Now, you may or may not have picked up on the fact that it's the Year of the Rabbit coming up in 2023. And so there's a few things that are rabbit related, including that's why Kaguya is here. It is the Year of the Rabbit, so they've brought her back. I don't really want to go into full detail on why she relates to the Year of the Rabbit, but I'm sure you either do know that, you could quite easily look that up, or you don't care. So it's fine. But there are a few different things here and there, and I do believe that Pino Tomaru is related to the Year of the Rabbit as well, and there's a few other things. So I have in the past made predictions on what we might see in the year, and I've said, oh, this could be related to like the Year of the whatever. And last year, one of the things I said is I would like to see a limited Zanzas for the Year of the Tiger, and we didn't get a limited Zanzas, but we did get a standard Gacha Zanzas for Year of the Tiger. So maybe this year we will get some more rabbit related stuff. Maybe we will finally get that limited Carrot from One Piece, seeing as they've already finished her and she's on the Taiwan server. But we shall see. Anyway, with the Unity battles, seems like they're going to be a lot more frequent. Seems like the rewards have been standardized, so whether the Unity battle is easy or difficult or just a bit annoying, you will get the same rewards for reaching the same points goals. It can be a bit of a tedious grind, but I mean, people wanted jewels, there are jewels here. People wanted rubies, there are rubies here. People wanted tickets and stuff, there's tickets and stuff here. So it's an opportunity for them to give us rewards in order for playing the game. I just wish it wasn't such a grind, especially like if you're able to beat stage 30, they should have a thing where it's like you can do either multiple posters at once, or you can like somehow get to level 30 much faster, because getting from level 1 to level 30, it just takes too long. It just takes way too long, and once you get to level 30, it's already a big grind to get to however many points you want to get to. So a bit annoying, but I do appreciate the fact that they are putting rewards there, because we need the jewels so badly, and we need the ruby so badly. And this was the Max Luck campaign, as I mentioned. You only have to Max Luck 2 characters for this, just the Bobobo and Pino Tomaru, and you will be able to get these 3 rewards. I wish they hadn't reduced how many rubies we get from these, but at least in this case it's only 2 characters. It's a 10-day event. I will accept that we only get 100 rubies for this. The New Year multi-ticket and a chat stamp, which is pretty cool. The New Year ticket, we've mentioned this one before because it was in the year end campaign as well. But you do have a chance of getting something from this gacha. You probably won't, but you'll get some other freebies. You'll get maybe some jewel shards, some hero jewels and stuff, so it's fine. Then the New Year Tower boost. Now, they've slightly tweaked their wording on this, but ultimately what they said in the, like, I don't know what to call it, like the responding to player inquiries post. They said they wanted to remove the points bonus. They haven't removed it. They've tweaked it. So that it's only for victory bonus and not for any of the other bonuses. I believe that's a tweak. I don't know. I don't really pay enough attention to my bonuses in Tower to know for sure if they've actually changed anything there, but they've definitely changed the way they word it in the news and the way they show it in the news. But one of the things they said was they were going to include more characters in the boost, and as you can see, that was a lie. Maybe that's something they've planned for the future rather than for now. But there are 8 characters here, and it's only the characters from this event. So they could have put the other like characters from previous New Year celebrations or something in here, and they haven't. So a little bit disappointing there, but there you go. Then we have the New Year special campaigns. These are very nice. Get boosted friend points and stamina. Extra what's this? Half stamina cost in story mode. Drop rate, drop amount, and player experience doubled in story mode. So this is a great time to farm story mode. If you haven't maxed out all the legend summons that have their books in story mode, if you want to level up your account, these are the ways to do it. And this is the time to do it. And stamina cost of strengthening islands halved if you need any evolvers and boosters and stuff. And big success and super success, triple chance if you need to level up any of your characters. So all pretty good stuff, especially if you're a new player. And we have returning events from New Year's past. Some of these are just like like a legend summon or a character that you might not have maxed out, and if you haven't, this is a good time to do them. But we also have some stuff like this stage, which has a point store tied to it. There are some rewards in there, so make sure to at least clear enough points to get the rewards out of here. And if there's any characters you've missed that are included in this store, make sure to go and get them. There's another store somewhere here. Make sure to do this one as well. These aren't in the current ongoing event tab, they're just in the standard event tab, so make sure to flick over there and check that out and clear any of these stages that have the like unique rewards that you may have missed out on. And these 3 battle rushes do not get reprinted that often, and when they do get reprinted, they're normally not reprinted for very long, maybe a day or 2. So make sure not to miss out on these, because the rewards are very, very good. You can get rubies in here, you can get jewels in here, and if you've missed out on any of these characters or their legend summons, this is the time to grab them. I loved battle rush rewards. I wish that the game mode was tweaked a little bit, because again, it's a bit tedious. They could easily like add more stages to it and like make it harder, but make it easier to get to those stages. Like you could compress these 25 stages down to like 5, and then still give maybe the same rewards, and then have additional stages above that that are more difficult to give different stuff. They're just not really touching this. If you don't know, I mean, this is kind of a cutting room floor type topic, but basically battle rushes were never intended to be added to the game. It was because they were going to add Unity Battle, and they had problems getting it out in time, and so the first 3 Unity Battle characters were actually turned into battle rush characters. And that's why for ages we had a stage background for iShield 21, for Yu-Gi-Oh! And for Naruto that were from like big moments in the series. Like we had like an American football stadium, we had like the battle tower, I can't remember what it's called, but where Yugi fights Kaiba during was it during Battle City? And there was like a stage background with like where the 3 legendary Sannin from Naruto all battled each other for Orochimaru, and none of those were added because all the battle rushes have the same event background. It's like some dojo type, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's like it's all indoors. So these stages, I think the reason why we never got the 4th one, and I think the reason why these have never really been updated beyond the Stage 25 update is due to the fact that it was never really meant to exist, and I guess they don't really want to go back to it. Plus, at this point, the rewards are actually really good for how easy it is. So even though it is tedious to get to the top stage, the rewards are worth it. 100% the rewards are worth it. And I will say, these come and go very quick. They're normally only here for like 2-3 days. So pay attention to your event tab and make sure to clear those as they are added and before they are removed. Moving on, we have the skill cap increases. We've talked about these before because they told us which ones would be coming in advance. I'm glad it wasn't just all dumped on us at once, and I'm hoping that moving forward they tell us these things ahead of time so that we know. At this point, I'm just saving all of my dupes anyway, but it's good to know. It's good to know when these things are coming, and it does give us an idea of what characters we can expect to be added in later updates. So, pretty good that they told us. And I actually bought a whole load of Bobobo tickets and just shredded through them to try and get dupes of Yugi, but sadly I couldn't get any. But hey, it's still nice. I'll still take the buff nonetheless. I probably won't duel him, but we'll see. Then we have the New Year Celebration Limited Gacha. Now this is pretty cool because out of the two Gacha, it's the less heartbreaking. We have Naruto and Boruto. I've actually written down on here that they're from Boruto because that's how it appears in the files, but actually they are considered a crossover unit between Boruto and Naruto. So it's kind of irrelevant, but you know, it's just a fun fact, I guess. We have 42 featured units on this banner, so not exactly ideal. We have 41 limited grade units from 2022. It includes all non-seasonal limited grade units that were released between New Year 2022 and World Trigger Feature Festival 2022. So it's a lot of characters. It does mean your chances of randomly getting Naruto and Boruto are somewhat diminished, in fact greatly diminished. But let's talk about the format. First multi, free. Everyone should be doing the first multi because it's free. I really like that addition. They're definitely making an effort to make more free summons available, so I'm 100% down for that. And then the second multi is actually discounted to 500, but that's pretty good. 10th multi is a guaranteed limited featured unit, but as I mentioned before, there are 42 featured limited units. So realistically, if you want Boruto and Naruto, it's a 15 multi format, which is not ideal. But all in all, I think the format's not too bad. It's not great if you want that specific unit, but if you're like me and you were just planning to save through this event anyway, you get a free multi. It's not that bad. And worst case scenario, if you got tempted to go to the third multi, it costs you 1,500 rubies for free multis and a guaranteed 5-star. That's not bad. That's not bad. Don't go beyond that though. Unless you're going all the way, do not go beyond that. But out of the two banners, I have to say positive things about this one, because the other one is tough. The other one is very, very tough, and that is this banner here. As you can see, New Year exclusive, which would suggest that these units are seasonals. Now, okay, we have we have a New Year costume, Harunasai Renji. We have a New Year costume, Nana Asta Devaluk. It makes sense for those to be New Year exclusives. What does Light Yagami have to do with New Year? Why is he a New Year exclusive? I don't know. I think they just decided to put a really popular, highly anticipated character on the banner that they knew they could charge a lot of points for. If I wanted to be generous, I would say that for New Year, they have given us the God of the New World. It's the loosest possible connection, but it's the only one I can think of. Ultimately, they just wanted a cool, popular character, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but what I do have a problem with is the way they have gone about it. These units being seasonal, not ideal. These two is fine. I mean, I expected them to be seasonal. Light, I'm a little bit annoyed about, but I guess I can kind of see the idea behind having more seasonal stuff. I like seasonal stuff. I like it more when it's actually fitting for the season, like these two, rather than him. But I like that he's been added, so I'm kind of, it's fine. And every new year, I imagine he'll come back and they might add more stuff to his gacha, and I can see the benefit. But let's talk about the format, shall we? The format, and by the way, both of these gacha, this one and this one, if you get a 5-star hero grade unit, it's guaranteed to be from 2021 or 2022, except on this gacha if you end up getting one of these two. So pretty good. This format, which looks very messy, by the way, but there's not a lot I can do about it. 20 multis for a limited grade unit is too much. I thought maybe they might have sprinkled some free multis in, and there is a free multi on the 3rd multi. But other than that, not really. I mean, okay, one thing I will say, doing the first 3 multis on this banner and doing the first 3 multis on the Naruto Boruto banner are the same price. 1,500 rubies for 3 multis and a guaranteed 5-star. But that's pretty good. But the other steps, even like jewel shards and stuff, I mean, okay, jewels, we do need more jewels. I can appreciate that. And if you pull like Yagami, yeah, he goes up to level 15, so you're definitely gonna need more jewels for him. Limited break doors, I guess that's a better value bonus than absolutely nothing, but again, it's not really enough to push me to summon more. And you may have noticed the way I sort of lay out these banners is I normally use the little red text bonus if you're getting like a bonus within the multi, and a little orange one if you're getting a bonus sent to your gift box. And typically I only use that for the final or best bonuses if you're getting a limited. So in this case, you get a limited on the 10th multi, which is a chance at Boruto and Naruto, but realistically a small chance. And on the 15th multi, you get a choice ticket, which you would be able to choose Naruto and Boruto from. The only bonus that gives you a limited here, because there's only one limited on this banner, is the 20th multi. So that's rough. Compared to this other banner that has like 40 something multis, admittedly it's going to be harder for you to get Boruto and Naruto, but by the time you get to the 15th multi, fair enough, and you've probably got like another decent unit there, and maybe you got some others along the way, so fair enough. On this banner, the only limited you're getting is Light and Ryuk, and you either get them early from luck or on the 20th multi, which sucks. They have included here and here a guaranteed 5-star feature unit, which means there are 3 units you could get. You could get the 2 new To Love Ru New Year girls, or you could get Light Yagami. But it's not really a 1 in 3, is it? Because their rate is obviously much higher than his. So I don't imagine that many people will get him on the 6th multi or on the 10th multi, but I suppose it's at least a better odds chance than like a step like this or whatever. But ultimately, I really don't like this format. I kind of get it for New Year. I get what they're going for. And it's a seasonal, and it's like a highly anticipated character. I do understand, and they have at least given us some rubies this event. It's not maybe as generous as some previous New Year's and stuff, but you know, if you add up the battle rushes, you add up the Unity battles, you add up the New Year gifts, you add up the login bonus, you add up the ones in the store, it's a inconsequential amount of rubies. So I am okay with that, but 20 multis means that those rubies don't go very far towards getting this unit. It's good if you're planning to save. If you've got a place in mind that you're saving towards, say for example, for the anniversary, for whoever the new Densetsu is or whatever, then hey, the rewards are pretty good in that regard, because you're going to save it. You're going to be a lot closer to getting what you want to get when that comes around. But I mean, the fact that they've got this plus the Muso banner that's being reprinted in January, plus Naruto and Boruto, plus there's a bunch of other banners that you're going to want to summon on. It's really tough. It's really tough. I really do hope that slowly we're seeing a slight increase in rewards. And one thing they really need to change is the sales. The sales are in a terrible state. And I did mention other gacha you'd want to summon on. They've released 5 gacha, 1,000 rubies each, and you get guaranteed limited. Now, this one is the only one I can in good conscience say that you absolutely should do. 1,000 rubies, and you get a guaranteed 2022 limit. If you're new to the game, for 5,000 rubies, you can get 5 limited characters, which again is like, the value is pretty good. It's there, it's pretty good. Even though I'm missing some characters from the 2018 one, it's very hard, even though I'm not planning to summon on anything else in this event, to say, oh yeah, should I summon on that? Maybe I will summon on that. I don't think I will. And the reason is because, say for example, you add up all the rubies we've got from this event. I think it's somewhere in the region of like 3,000 to 4,000 rubies, all things considered. And that's like not a bad amount, but 3,000 to 4,000 for these gacha alone, that's 5,000 gone. That's not even considering if you might want to do like the first 3 multis on Light, if you might want to do the first 3 multis on Boruto, Naruto, and even if you don't want to summon on those, I mean the 5,000 is still is still a lot. But even if I say, yeah, just do this one and do the 3 multi on Naruto, Boruto, and then be on your way, it's still like a quarter or a third of the rubies they're giving us for free, just gone. It's nice, it is nice, but they're asking for a lot more rubies from us, and they're not giving us enough that we can respond in kind. And normally the option there would be go and buy some, but as you will see, they still haven't worked out how to balance the sales packs, so we're in a really difficult spot here. But at least this one, I have to say, you should do. 2022 guaranteed limit for 1,000 rubies. Yeah, you might get a dupe if you've got some already, but there's so many good ones in there. Do you know how many limits they released last year? It was a lot. So as long as you've only got like a handful, you've probably got pretty good odds of getting something new. And even if you get a dupe, it might be worth holding on to. So it's pretty nice. Then we have the birthday gacha. I'm very happy with how they've improved the amount of birthday gacha they're putting out. I don't think they're doing it for every limited character, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Mike Guy's birthday gacha is today. There are 3 multi on his banner. And Ace's birthday. I do kind of wish that they would give a choice ticket on these. Because I mean, Ace and Luffy is a much more notably, I won't say he's like meta unit, but it's like much closer to the meta, much closer to being relevant in PvP and PvE than version 1 Ace. And I know it's like a birthday gacha or whatever, but if I did decide to summon, that should be a choice ticket. That shouldn't be a random limited. This one gives you a guaranteed Mike Guy sent to your gift box, so if you're a fan of Mike Guy, then yeah, that's great. But this one, you get one or the other, and I think that's kind of lame, but I'll take the 3 multi nonetheless. Then sales packs. Okay, so my personal opinion is for a sale pack to be good value, the amount of rubies you receive must be equal to or greater than the amount of yen you are spending. And the closer you are to that point, the closer you are to having a good sales pack. This one is too expensive by 200 yen, but ultimately it's pretty close to being what I'm talking about. Get that to here, 12,800 yen, which is a lot of money, even with how weak the yen is, to get 4,100 rubies. Now this is a lot better value than packs we've had in the past, but ultimately it isn't a good value pack for the reason I mentioned for how I think the ruby value should look. The once a day pack gives you 50 rubies for 160 yen, so the value's not really there. The 5-star ticket, I looked in the news, it doesn't seem to be, like it has units from last year, but other than that, there doesn't really seem to be any additional bonuses to it. So again, this is not really worth it. This pack, again, is not really worth it. This one is close. I mean, this one is more of a personal discretion type thing. 1900 yen for 400 rubies. Obviously, the value there is questionable, but you also get a limited ticket. Now, it's a random limit. They've put Yamato on the banner because they know people want Yamato, but it is random. You might get something good. You might get something from 2018. I don't know. But it's not a horrific price. Ultimately, it's not a horrific price. As we go on, you see like this ticket here. Seemingly the same ticket. And you get 600 more rubies. And you get 60 limit break doors. Look how much more you have to pay. An extra 3,000 yen. To me, that doesn't add up. This pack is not very good value. This pack, now that we have full information on this pack, I can say definitively this pack is not very good. Don't buy it. The value's definitely not there. And this pack, they do packs like this all the time. It's not worth it. Admittedly, I can see the benefit to having a limited choice ticket over a random limited, but the price is just so high. It's not worth it. Now, these packs are a little bit closer to value because 4,900 yen. No, you know what? Now I'm looking. This pack is. I was getting confused. This pack is a bit closer to value than these packs, and they've done a few of these packs, but there is an important note here. So 1,000 rubies, 60 limit break doors, and a limited ticket, 4,900 yen. This pack, you get less rubies. So, obviously in terms of the value, the other pack is closer, but these limited tickets have a restricted pool, and these ones don't. So you could get like basically any limited from like the start of the game up until like probably some way halfway through last year. On this ticket, they have specific units from specific archetypes. And so, I mean, this ticket's probably got a pretty decent pool. This ticket's probably got a pretty decent pool. This one may be a bit older, but you get the idea. Like, you can actually get some pretty decent units from it. So I can understand why they've made the change of taking the 500 rubies away from you. Ultimately, again, it is 4,900 yen, so it's probably not worth it. But it's an interesting dynamic to how these packs work. Especially in the case of, like, this one says version 2 buffers. So I assume the pool is, like, restricted to some pretty decent units. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't really recommend packs like this, but if you were like a whale or something and you wanted to give those a go, I mean, I guess I can see why you might want to give it a go. This pack, like I said, they do these packs all the time. Not worth it. These packs, to me, don't make any sense. I'm definitely not going to recommend that or that. Also, really weird that this pack only goes for 10 days and this one goes to the end of the month. Don't know what that's about. They do this pack all the time. It's not worth it. These packs, they do it every month, but they've been slightly tweaked this month for New Year. This one's almost exactly the same, and it's almost equally not worth, as it always is. This pack is slightly better value than normal, but still not worth. And this pack, it's not good value, but actually, it's tough. They've put so many more goodies in, and I really don't like to factor in the goodies to the equation because look how expensive it is. But 9,800 yen for 4,000 rubies, while obviously that blows out my equation, you also get limited choice ticket fragments, which will add up to a limited choice on this banner. So that's pretty good. And just look at the other stuff they give you. Like, I won't include the choice ticket fragments because it's just irrelevant. But 40 jewel shards, so that's 4 jewels. The limit break doors, 120 stamina tankers, not bad. I think this is the closest to being good value from one of the expensive packs, just because they give you so much stuff. But again, probably ultimately not worth it. Then we've got new character / emblem for Sparks of a Lost Civilization. Here's the new emblem for this month. If you get 20 SS ranks, you'll get that emblem. And here is Obito Uchiha, who has been added to the Sparks store. I think logically, as the Sparks anniversary is next month, we can probably expect the release of Kakashi sometime next month, the special one from the Taiwan server, the Sasanu Kakashi. So look forward to that, I guess, if you're a fan. And then in the other news and leaks, I mean, banners like this are never worth summoning on. This banner certainly will not be worth summoning on. Unless they do some craziness where this banner's like super cheap or something. Absolutely not worth summoning on. This banner's at least interesting, because they're trying to give out some rewards on the steps up that are like rewards you would actually want. Ultimately, if you did the 7 steps to get yourself guaranteed limited, and you can do that 3 times because there's 21 steps. In those 7 steps, you would get a total of 40 jewel shards, which is 4 jewels. But again, who's got the rubies to spend on these banners? Not me. Not me. And the Superstar Gacha, which I believe it should actually be illegal to advertise this banner in the way that they have advertised it. For a start, they've called it the Superstar Gacha, even though it's essentially the same gacha it always is. Don't know what this extra super is supposed to be offering. And front and center, they put Hashirama Senju on the banner, and it says Muso character, Hashirama Senju, and limited characters pickup, which means they're supposed to be rated up. And Hashirama Senju has by far the lowest rate on the banner out of any character. So I think that should be considered false advertising, considering how prominently he's featured and how it calls out by name the fact that he is featured on the banner. I know obviously he's like a higher rarity of character, but the fact that he's not even available from any step on this banner, you could do 16 million multis on this banner and never see him. There is no guaranteed step where you can get him. There is no ticket where you can choose him. There is nothing. I think that I think that's false advertising. In my opinion, that is false advertising. But you can at least get limited ticket fragments and you can choose a limited. But yeah, ultimately, the value for money just does not exist on this banner. Do not summon on it. This is so many people get tempted when they see these banners appear because they see the characters featured on it. If you want Hashirama Senju, go summon on the Muso banner. He's on there right now. If you do enough multis, you will get him guaranteed eventually. He's super expensive, yes, but at least it's not just lying to you. Senku's birthday is coming up on the 4th. Don't forget to get a free multi on him. Rukia's birthday is coming up. Definitely remember to get a free multi on her because she's actually quite a recent unit, quite cool. Actually, Senku's pretty recent as well. But yes, very nice. And then we've got tower banners, which are not worth summoning on. They're just bait. They are just bait. And I did mention before how like there was some value to those other like limited ticket packs. Potentially, if you're a big whale, and this sort of falls into the same category. Potentially, if you're a big whale, these tickets are going to have a restricted pool to feature the units on these banners. So I could see a world where that might be of value to somebody, but to the general player, you shouldn't really consider it. And then these packs, which I don't see the point of. I don't even know why they bother to make the graphics and to sell them, because they're not very good value. This pack is not very good value. Like, I don't know why they bothered making so many of these, but yeah, as I mentioned before, you can see the problem. There are so few packs that are good value that it's very difficult if you were put in a position where you were close to being able to afford something and you wanted to push for it to buy them. Where's the good value sales packs to buy? You're supposed to be tempting me into summoning, guys. Come on. So yeah, it's poor. It's poor from them. And then to finish things off, the gap in between New Year and Bobobo will be filled by a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reprint event. If you get the characters from previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Events to Max Luck, you'll get a Millennium Puzzle emblem. Cool emblem. But why they need to put filler into this month is a little bit confusing to me. And that probably explains why some of the dates are all messed up on the sales packs as well. But if you look at some of the events like this one, the date, I assume the 19th is when Bobobo is going to start. So pretty much we're going to have a 10-day New Year event that's going to feel pretty good. And then we're going to have 9 dead days. So I'm not very happy about that. But yeah, that's basically everything I had to talk about in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will probably do like a summons video or something at some point, because I do have some tickets and some other good stuff to do. I guess I'll see you then.